This episode is brought to you by Bellator's Publishing, bringing stories to the world that last forever.
I just hope that Christopher Nolan is not going to get this because that
Oh my
would be
god,
too much.
no, he absolutely needs to get... This is the perfect movie for Christopher Nolan. Oh my god, I can't imagine a better director.
No, the book is already complicated. If you're going to make it seem complicated and the movie is going to be like...
No, it needs to be.
Hello and welcome to Faithfully Fantasy.
The husband and wife podcast talking all things fantasy fiction.
I'm JC.
And I'm Sean.
And today we'll finish our read-along of The Will of the Many with chapter 62 to the end. And just a heads up, we might use strong language and explore adult themes.
This episode will obviously contain spoilers from The Will of the Many and snippets of information we've had from James Eidhin himself. It will not contain spoilers from The Strength of the Few because we haven't read it yet.
And before we start, quick reminder, if you love the show and want even more, we got a supporters options at faithfullyfantasy.com. You get bonus episodes, early access, and you'll be helping the podcast grow.
Also, if you're enjoying the show, please take a second to rate us wherever you're listening. A quick tap and you've made our day.
Okay, then let's dive into...
Wait, what just happened? And this one is literally, what just happened? Because it's such a complicated ending.
Yes.
So I'm going to take you through it. The Eidhin finally arrives, and Vis enters it with the most unexpected trio. Himself, Calidus, and Equa, who is still stunned he trusts her at all. Eidhin was his original pick, but he had to withdraw at the last moment. So Equa steps in, and the three of them train hard, building a real bond. Veridius lays out the rules. The heart of Jovan is hidden somewhere on the island. Whoever returns it wins. If a third wins, they become Domitor, champion of the academy. If a teammate wins, they get a secret personal reward. The whole thing is engineered to tempt people into turning on each other. Classic Katen energy. The moment the test begins, Vis discreetly gets rid of his tracking bead so he can slip away later to run the ruins labyrinth, because of course he's doing two life-threatening challenges at once. Immediately, Iroh and Belly's team ambush them. Equa pretends to defect, steals Vis's medallion and ties him and Calidus up, only to return later, having tricked Iroh into letting her scout alone. She frees them and proves she is truly on their side. Vis then sends Equa to recover his medallion, while he and Calidus ambush a safety team to steal their tracker. But the safety sextus uses real force, and Vis barely escapes, only to discover the cloak he grabbed is stained, and something is very wrong. He slips away to the ruins. Diago, now a full-grown Alupi, finds him and tries to stop him entering the ruin, but Vis goes in anyway, of course. He forces the chamber's illusions to demonstrate the labyrinth at least 5 times, watching each one fail so he can learn the patterns. Then he runs it himself and finds Belly's real body pinned to the wall. She was sent here by Veridius, and she did not make it out. And only Vis knows why. He barely escapes the shadows and reaches the next chamber where bronze blades curl around him. When he wakes, black mist carves words into his arm. Wait, then run. He bolts, figures block the exit, but Diago charges in and together they fight their way out. One bites Vis's arms before they escape. Vis reunites with his team, Equa treats the bite, and they use the stolen tracker to locate the others, only to find an open grave full of safety staff and students. The Anguis have infiltrated the island. The Eidhin has become a battlefield. Vis warns Indol, who reveals something chilling. He never told Emissa about his plan to pledge to religion. So how did she know? Vis finds Equa and Emissa's team, learns Emissa has gone ahead alone and races to the tower. Inside, he meets the Anguis man from the festival, the one who traded a ship for a mysterious weapon. The man warps the air, vanishes, reappears, and tells Vis he'll likely lose his bitten arm. None of us get out without marks. At the top of the tower, Emissa uses will to stop an Anguis attacker. Vis grabs the heart of Jovan, but when she sees the bite on his arm, she freezes. She demands the heart. He drops it. She strikes him with a blade. The heart leaps back into his hand, and he falls out of the window into the river. Somehow, he survives. Heartbroken, he heads towards the academy and finds Calidus gravely hurt beside a fallen Anguis. Calidus asks Vis to tell his father the truth about his demotion. Vis promises. Calidus passes in his arms. Vis carries him all the way to the academy, lays him at Veridius' feet, and quietly vows justice. Then he places the heart in the statue's hands and collapses. He wakes in the infirmary, not for the first time. His arm is gone. Veridius confirms his blood is now tainted and must be hidden. He urges Vis to pledge to religion and work under Senator Pilius, but Vis chooses something else entirely. He asks to work for the censor, Calidus's father, because information is power and he intends to fight. Later alone, he finds a toy ship carved with the name Diago beside his bed, left from the conversation with his late father. Then everything fractures. Vis wakes again in the bronze chamber, words carved into his arm. He steps through and finds himself in snow, in a rotunda, greeted by strangers who say the other from your world will be coming. Then he snaps back to the chamber where a man named Searaw tells him he's been copied and they have 2 minutes to save you back in res. And that's where the book ends. Vis injured, altered, standing between words and absolutely not done fighting. Ulkiskov's brother is alive, at least somewhere. Oof. I had to take that one slowly and seriously because there is a lot of confusion online around the end of this book. There really is a wait, what just happened feeling. So I wanted to kind of take it really slow and step through what happened.
Yes, definitely. This is the last chapter, something that we need to talk like really slowly with a lot of details because it's really confusing.
It's complicated, but it's so good. Can you believe I've waited this long to start The Strength of the Few after reading it months and months ago?
Yeah. Okay, now time for Confirm, Curse, or Completely Unhinged.
The part of the show where we either get to bank those bragging rights or have a laugh at ourselves for being way too wild with our previous theories. I'm saying our here because mostly they were yours. What did you get right from last week?
So, a couple of things. First, Diago, the Alupai. I knew he will come back. I wasn't sure if it was going to be for something good or something bad, but I knew that he will return and it will be involved in somehow for this task. In this case, he was helping Vis. So, yeah, I'm taking the...
Yeah, you can take the win. Although you did kind of... Like, he came back, you got that right, but you did kind of cover all bases by saying it was either going to be good or bad.
No, I knew that it will affect his task. The thing that I wasn't sure is... because obviously depends on the author if it's going to be for something good or something bad. That's why I say it might be like he is protecting Vis for something, or he's going to put Vis in trouble because it's going to be obvious that he's been there before. That's what I was thinking as well. Then the prediction that I had is that one of his friends will die. I was putting all my betting on Eidhin, but it was Calidus. He didn't make it.
Like, I know that a few people feel like this, like particularly like friends in real life who I read books with. Mm-hmm. We automatically kind of lose a bit of respect for an author if they don't kill off a main character. And I don't know if this, like, I've got a few times where I'm going to reference like the stories of Harry Potter in this episode, as anybody that knows me would expect. But I feel like that set us up as kids. Like some of the major deaths in that really set us up to be like, yeah, that you've got to lose some big characters for it to be a serious war. I never expected Calidus to go, but I do, like James Islington has like, I think that was another thing that like just made me really respect him as an author. It's like he's not afraid to kill off some main characters. But Vis's dad does say that he will see him again.
Yes. So I don't know how he's going to play it in the second one, but some well, so far it looks like he is totally dead. I don't know if maybe later on we find the Viz has some kind of powers or he's been copied or something.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts. Like, I think he can speak to...
Dead people.
Yeah. I see dead people. I think he does. I don't know. Has it happened before? I think Sea-Raw isn't dead. I think Sea-Raw is a clone, but...
Yeah.
Because he obviously made it through the labyrinth. But, yeah, there's something going on there. Because it's not even just that he can see dead people. The boat is there.
Yeah.
So there is obviously something physical going on because the boat was missing. Do you remember? Do you remember me being like, "Oh my God, there's a huge bit of foreshadowing in the room where his father's former aide took him back in his childhood home, and there was loads of stuff. There was 4 wooden ships, but his was missing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously come from there. His dad had it all the time. Something's going on."
Yeah, how it happens.
Yeah, because you'd be like, oh yeah, you can have conversations with dead people, but there's a physical object that has just appeared there. So there's something more, isn't there, than just a conversation with a dead person. And it's not a hallucination because the boat is there. Like, it's such a cool mystery. Anything else?
Yes, so I was pretty sure that Viz has to go through this labyrinth and he won't be properly like prepared for that. Everything happened was when Veridius said they're going to start with the Lucian, and that was like 6 weeks before everything. So that's 6 weeks that Viz lost to prepare this whole training, but mentally he wasn't like, yes, I got this.
I mean, he did it, didn't he? But I think I've talked about this before. At the book club that I was at when I read this for the first time, somebody was really opinionated and said they didn't like it because they always knew that the main character would be okay. And I was kind of like, but you always know that the main character is going to be okay. And I thought that he wasn't, like, I did feel peril. Like, he did always kind of get knocked out and then wake up somewhere else. I don't know any character that gets knocked out and like all of a sudden is somewhere else, more than Viz. But then somebody else jumped in and said, and actually, arguably, he wasn't okay by the end of it. He lost his arm. How many main characters in major book series become disabled by the end? Like, because of a trauma or an accident that's happened? Not many.
You get maybe like a scar, and most of the time the scar will make it look even better.
Yeah.
But no,
you don't lose an arm.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the arm a bit later on because I believe he has, I think there's 3 of him and I think he has an arm still. I think one of them has an arm still. The other 2 don't. Yeah. I think that might come in important. Yeah, later on.
Because it's really interesting that it happens right in the first book of these 4 books for the saga. So I'm thinking as well that yes, it happens now, but I'm still not sure if that Viz is the clone or is the original or what's going on.
I think that's the original one. I think, yeah. Well, I don't know.
And last, by the end of the labyrinth, he will find out there is a gate to another realm. Now it's totally confirmed.
Yes.
So there's no like a secret weapon or something.
Yeah.
Or something physical.
I am so surprised that you didn't predict that we would meet Sea-Raw. Like, that was the biggest thing that I was keeping secret from you. I don't want to ruin any other books for people because this might be the first time that, like, but there's been other books that we have read where there's a major twist at the end of somebody that you think is dead isn't.
I know, there's somebody that's constantly mentioning the book that has been dead and then turns out is not.
A brother.
So, I didn't see that coming, to be honest.
I think I might have. I don't know if you have.
I thought they had the body. There was like a proper, like funeral and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, no, they didn't have the body. He threw himself off the cliff. He jumped into the sea, died.
So that's just like the witness of what they're saying, because I thought they found out their body and the explanation was that he killed himself.
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe it was the clone who killed himself.
Well, it maybe isn't the clone. So, like, he said we've got seconds to save you in the other place. So I think, and that's because Zero knows that he lost his original body. I don't think it's a clone. I think the clone is in Obitium or Lucium. I think the original is still in.
I don't know, because
nothing
it will make more sense. The original is in the other side of the realm, and the copy is sent to the realm where he belongs, like to make sure they're still in balance.
That's interesting, because I just thought it was the other way around. Because if you read it the normal way, he goes into this like curved arch portal thing, and nothing happens, and then he goes out again. When actually he wakes up in Obitium later on, but it's not later on, it's the same time. It's just a flashback.
Yeah.
I think the real one's in Res. I think the OG is in Res. I don't know that it matters, because they're the same person. Does it matter? Well, yeah, because he cares enough about Calidus to carry his body back to the tower. So if he was a different person, he wouldn't have the relationship with Calidus that he had.
I don't know.
It's the same person.
You know, when I was reading this, it reminded me this movie with Schwarzenegger, when there's like a clone, and there's like constantly fight about who is the original, who is the clone. And all the way of the movie, the original tried to recover his family because the clone was with his family. The whole movie was trying to recover his family from that clone. Turns out by the end, he was the clone, and the original always went with the family.
Happened, yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. You go through all the movie thinking that the clone is trying to, the original is trying to recover the family from the clone.
But it's the clone that's trying to steal the family from...
Yeah.
Oh, well, you just spoiled that for everyone.
I mean, if you haven't seen the movie that's been like 26 years ago, you won't see it now.
I haven't seen it.
You're going to see it now?
No, I fall asleep when movies come on. Yeah, it's really cool though. I don't know that it matters, but the thing, it felt real because you also have some of the decisions that take place. Like he chooses to go to governance.
No, it's definitely like flesh, feelings,
thoughts,
mentally everything is this. It's like a totally clone. If it's the original, that's the thing that we don't know. It's like it's split. So there's like two completely sane. I don't know how to say it. So.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Or was that all?
No, that's it.
Yeah, I'm just so surprised you didn't say anything about, although it's not obvious. It's not obvious. Right. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to screaming, crying, throwing God's swords. So you'll all know by now that this is the part of the show where we talk about how we're feeling, what we think about the book, and ask any questions we have about the characters and the plot from this week's read along. For the first time, I have quite a lot of questions. So how did you feel now you finished it? We can have a fully open conversation.
Honestly, in my humble opinion, I think this is the best book that we have ever talked about in this podcast. And we had in this podcast Fort Wayne, we had Onyx Storm, and these like massive books outside. I think in complicity and the characters and the story, this book is just amazing.
Yeah, like in my opinion, like apart from your book, obviously, Memoirs of Luzbel, I do think it is the best fantasy book I've read. It's really good.
It's everything, because even when normally we come in from the romance and fantasy and these kind of books, this one give you like the full story. They give you some character depth about what's going on, what they're doing it. So many mysteries. We finished the book with more questions. Hopefully we're going to find out some answers in the next book. The
reread, so many Easter eggs, like the stuff that happened at the beginning that was coming back, like the little boat that we can, I've already talked about that already, but there are so many things, and I'm like, once you know the end and you talk about it, and then the whole book changes because Searoy is there. So there's so much. Reading it a second time is like reading a completely different story. And that is a sign of a good book. Like when you get to the end, you want to immediately start again to see what you missed. Well, it's definitely how I feel. Yeah. So who was your MVP, most valuable player this week?
Oh, definitely Calidus. because he never left Vis, so whatever Veridius offering, he didn't take anyway. He was just there to support and help Vis in all of this. He trusts Equa as well, when even Vis wasn't trust her when he thought
He knew she'd come back.
Yeah, he was totally sure, like, no, all this time that we spent together, you can't fake that. Like, she is one of us. And as well, that he was helping with the heart and giving the heart to Viz, even at the end where he was
even though and even though he'd been offered Domitor before that, didn't even once cross his mind that he would double cross him.
So yeah, definitely he is the one who is pushing the story here. And even at the end, when Viz is claimed the winner of the UDCN, he goes to war with Khalidia's father.
So I don't think he's going to work with him because it's his father. I think that has some sway, but I think it was his plan all along, apart from when he was talking about running away and like going to that random island. Because when he played Belly, he said, I'll go to governance. And that was like kind of a win-win anyway. And we talked about it and I was a bit sneaky and I was like, oh, do you think he was planning on doing that anyway? And yeah, he did. Yeah. So at that time, I obviously knew that it was a win-win situation because he was going to sign up for them anyway. But yeah, I'm not sure it's entirely because of Calidus's father. And I wonder how Calidus's father is going to be, because I don't know that Viz is going to like him because of the way that he just kind of disowned Calidus because he was in class 7.
Yeah.
Viz will tell him the truth, but I'm not sure that that relationship is going to be good. Calidus for me as well, but I do want to do a special shout out to Equa because she came back to rescue them. She was genuinely apologetic. She couldn't believe that he had chosen her. I don't think we found out what Veridius offered Equa.
No, I think there was no time for he to find out.
Yeah, because it must have been a good offer. Eidhin's was good. Calidus's was really good. I wonder what it was that he offered. It obviously wasn't enough. And she reminds me of Hermione when she comes back. She's like, don't you boys know how loud you are? And like, she's, what were you planning to do? Like, just reminded me of Hermione stumbling upon like Harry and Ron while they're just laughing and they're doing impressions of Belly. And I think we needed that moment of them just laughing, being completely useless.
Yeah, in the end, they are teenagers as well.
Yeah.
So, like, just because they're like the main character, you can't expect they always have the answer. They know always like what they have to do.
Yeah, and it was even more like, again, reading that when I knew who was about to die was like, it just gives you a bit more of a pang, like, of their friendship.
Yeah.
At least he's still got Eidhin. And we will see Calidus again, apparently. So, what were the Ovek or Rotting Gods moments?
Well, yeah, pretty much the last chapters.
Did you understand what was going on? It sounded like you do.
I mean, I think overall, I understand what is happening, but what I was reading, I wasn't like totally sure. Like when he started to get this like spider sense, when he started to feel like people coming and like, okay, so now he has powers. So I thought that has to be because he went through this realm. So even when in the book saying that nothing happened, something happened. But I was thinking that it might be now he had like superpowers. He is now like, I don't know, getting a demigod or something. But then I started to see as well that he was like recovering really quick when he got like injured. So that's kind of like Wolverine style as well. And
yeah, I think he has lots of different powers.
Yeah.
But we know that the guy who is working with Anguis is able to like reappear and materialize. He's able to like just vanish.
Yeah.
And he is definitely from the other side. He's been through the labyrinth because he immediately recognizes that Vis has as well. And he says something like, none of us make it through without a scar or something.
A mark or something.
Yeah, and he has a big scar, doesn't he, on his face?
Yeah.
So the Anguis are not who they say they are. And this is why I think Reliquia, could definitely have got through the labyrinth. Although she says that she never went to the academy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily get the feeling that she's from Res, from this realm. I don't know. So much stuff we've got to learn. I think we don't fully know what will is either. We don't fully know how will works. We don't fully know what the cataclysm was. We don't fully know we don't know what the rending was, which is what all these people say, all the like shadows.
I was never meant to love a human. But then I saw her. I wasn't supposed to touch that fruit, but I took it and I ate it. I was the most loyal of angels until I lost her. Now they call me the devil, and I'll burn heaven itself before I lose her again.
Memoirs of Luzbel, a dark fantasy novel. Book 1 of the Luzbel saga. Now available on Amazon.
What about you? Were there any parts that jump out of you?
Yeah, so many. I want to talk about some of the things that we don't know yet. So Veridius, these chapters seal for me why I think Veridius is a good person. I do not think he is bad. He seemed to want Vis to win because he was happy. So if you go right back to the start of these chapters, when Vis says he's choosing Eidhin and Calidus, and he's like, what? Why are you choosing a 6th and a 7th? And he's like, well, because I trust them. And Veridius is genuinely happy at that. He's like, good, great. Like, if I can give you any tips, it would be pick someone you trust, or pick people you trust. Also, he doesn't disqualify him when he knows he crossed the river. At the beginning of the Udicum, when he's talking about the rules, he's like, anyone that goes too far west is instantly disqualified. One, that's because he's trying to keep everyone away from Belly, because Veridius also tells Vis to stay away from Belly during the Udicum. And we think that's because he can't trust her. He knows that she's going to do something bad to get him back for knocking her out of the 3rd class. But actually it's because he doesn't want any suspicion, because Veridius is going to send Belly to the labyrinth.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think it's Veridius that's sending them to the labyrinth. I don't know. Veridius is up to something, clearly. But yeah, he doesn't disqualify him, because he knows when he wakes up and he has this conversation with him, he knows he's run the labyrinth.
Yeah.
He knows he made it through. He could, if he didn't like him at that point, he could just say, I found evidence that he crossed the river, or that he, and then disqualify him, couldn't he? It would be suspicious and stuff. But anyway, I think Veridius likes Vis and wanted him to win. And I wonder if that's why he accelerated the Udicum, because he didn't want Vis to drop down, and he knew that Preceptor of the 3rd class would be looking for a reason to get Belly back, because Belly was very good. And maybe he thought, actually, Belly's in 4 now. No one will really notice she's missing because she's not a 3rd. So I think he just took his shot. I don't know. I don't know. I'm all over the place with this. Also, when Veridius' name is mentioned at the end, he says Veridius is the principalis of the academy. Zero kind of smiles, and he's like, of course he is.
Yeah.
It doesn't...
Maybe feeling proud or...
Yeah, like he's a friend. Doesn't feel like there's any
beef.
Yeah, any vindictiveness from Veridius there. And also Veridius's words before the Udicum about nothing being worth dying for, and that he would protect Vis from Ulkiskor, really make me think he's a good person. I think he cares about Vis.
Yeah, so many things that we don't know about him, because by the end, when he was advising to Vis to go for religious, he was saying because he wants to prevent another cataclysm happen. So obviously he's trying to prevent something really bad happen. He has more information than we know so far. And for me, it was always that he was doing bad things, but I wasn't thinking that he was a bad person.
Yeah, it's like the ends justify the means.
Yeah, so he's like maybe sacrificing students to run the labyrinth, send the people to the other realm. I don't know why is the
because he genuinely to get Yeah, probably to bring the power, maybe, because they get far more strength for going, don't they? So Vis has come back stronger, and maybe they need people like that to fight.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe Veridius is as well a copy. Maybe, I don't know if a between copy, no, it doesn't look like. Maybe they can have like contact, or maybe the one who is in the other realm knows exactly what's going on in Res.
Well, I think this Anguis guy can go between realms. I don't know. I feel like he's like a god or something, a rotting god or something. And then the fact that Calidus was offered Domitor, the whole thing with Calidus is so hard to read after when you know what's coming. I cried, and I don't always cry in books. It takes a lot, actually, for a book to make me cry.
Yeah.
And just something random. Someone took the safety team's blood. There's people going around taking people's blood. I don't know what they're doing. My mum had a theory that they are trying to find another way to make clones, or to check. Yeah, I think they're trying to find another way to make clones. I wonder if they're trying to check people's blood, because their blood is tainted. Amissa could sense it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, those
and
things.
We saw the beginning as well. Vis, he has to give blood, and he was examined in this onyx like plate or something. So obviously there's something going on about
They're doing
this
something
blood.
with the blood, yeah.
They know like the people who's coming from this place coming with something in the blood. Maybe is this what is affecting somehow.
Yeah. Anything you're struggling with?
I mean, it's more question that I have more than struggling. So I would say them like properly struggling in these chapters. No. Confusing with a lot of questions. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So most of the series, like when we got to the "Are you struggling with anything?" I'm like, nope, it's the best book ever. I love it. There are a few things this week. So the one that I've kind of alluded to already, and that he just keeps getting knocked out and waking up somewhere else. And like, I did get a bit of fatigue with that this time, where it's kind of like, and then everything goes black, and then, he's in the bed, he's in the water, or he's in the bedroom, or he's in the, like, he's tied to a tree, you know, and I think because it happened so many times in these last few chapters, it happened like 4 or 5 times maybe, where he's like on the stone thing, knocked out, and then he's in the bed, knocked out, and then he's fallen from the tower, and he's woken up in the water, and then he's been knocked out, and then he's tied to a tree, and you're just like, how many times can one character get knocked? Like, he must be seriously concussed at this point. And I don't know. I love James Arlington's writing. I love the story. But there's got to be he's got to find another way to transition from one scene to another without knocking out the main character. It just was getting a bit too much. And I'm going to end it there. But that is, it kind of is a lot.
You just feel this happening over and over.
Yeah, why can't it just be like, did he have to be knocked out?
Yeah.
Could he not have just like been dragged and like they overpowered him? Maybe
something.
Yeah, they could have had it so that Belly was cheating. She could have been using will or something like that. You know, like they could have done something like that. Anyway, it just is happening quite a lot. Let's see how many times it happens in the Strength of the Few. Maybe we could have like a knockout counter that's like ding, ding, ding every time he gets knocked out. And then the other thing, again with Vis, was that he said a few times, and I can't remember all the examples now, and I should have written them down, but he says a few times, in their position, I would have done the same, so I can't judge. And it's like he's kind of saying, I understand. But he is such a resolute character. He uses it. One of the examples I can remember is that he uses it when he's talking about Eidhin's dad. Sorry, when Eidhin is telling him his story about how he was part of this tribe that was really remote, and one day the Ketenans came and he killed like 3 of them, and they captured his dad, who was the leader of this tribe. So Eidhin explains that in his tribe it is more honorable to die than to join an enemy, or to like you just like sacrifice yourself before.
Always loyal.
Yeah. When we get to the theories, I think he's actually going to sacrifice himself at some point. But anyway, what he says is when they catch his dad agrees to become a sextus, and then he puts Eidhin in a sapper for 2 years or a year or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
A year. And then at the end of it, he has to go to the academy, and then everyone will be fine. The tribe will be saved. And he's like, oh yeah, I would have done the same if I was his dad. Would Vis do the same? Like, we just spent the whole book learning about how he was whipped and stuff because he refused to go to the sapper. I know that nobody was in danger and he might have like put himself forward, but would he have done the same? I'm not sure he would have done the same. And then there was another time where somebody else did something and he was like, I would have done the same. And I'm like, would you? Would you, Vis? I don't think you would. So there were some like wobbly character moments where maybe that is in his character, that he's just like trying to justify that this person, he's trying to understand this person's point of view. And the way he does it is he's like, I might have done the same. And I just don't think he would have done the same.
Yeah, maybe it's like when he sees there's some massive red flag in front of him and he's more like, it's more like pink, it's not red.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, again, this just happened a few too many times in quick succession. So it jumped out at me. And it's not something I noticed in the first read. Like, the same with the getting knocked out. It's just like maybe these like creeping niggles when you're on your second one.
Yeah. You start to notice more stuff, of course.
Yeah. I still love it. It's like, it's still one of my favourite books ever.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions? This could be quite a long segment.
Well, the main one for me is, what is the deal with the Alupai, with Iago? Because it seems that it's helping a lot, Vis, but also it looks more than an animal. Like, he understands exactly what's going on. He knows how to help Vis. And there was a time after he'd been knocked out when he says like Diago, but the very first time when I read it, I wasn't sure if the Alupai was calling Diago or was Vis calling the Alupai Diago.
Oh, it was the second one, but yeah.
Yeah, but the first time when I read it, I was like, oh, the Alupai is talking to Diago, to Vis.
I did have a thought that it might be a person.
Yeah, so I was thinking, it seems there's more about this Alupai. And
well,
I think in the Aidhin is like somebody is inside this Alupai, maybe
spirit of
shapeshifter or something like this.
His sister had a pet Alupai. Alupi. Alupai. Thank you. Potato. No, it's tomato, isn't it? Not potato. Well, his sister did have a pet. Alupai.
And that's another theory that I have as well later on, talking about it. But also it seems the Alupai has been cloned as well, because there was a moment that I thought it would die because it was like really hurt. And then later on, no, it was absolutely fine. Since I was weird that, I was stabbed everywhere, and now I'm just feeling like it was just tickles on the skin. It's all good now.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I've got so many questions. Is that the only one you've got?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Right, one that just came to me right now. What is going to happen with the military? The military literally, like, caused a terrorist attack on a school. Like, all those people, we didn't even get a resolution. There was, like, mass graves.
Yes, but that's from the Angus, so military officially. It's not being affected.
Yeah, but the military provided the ship, and the military, because we know that, because that's what was the conversation that was happening on Seuss, and also they like funded it all.
Yeah, the interesting part will be if at the Angus it will say the military will helping them. Because that guy who was, disappearing, he said that yes, military will help him because they want them to do something, but they decide to do something else. So I don't.
Yeah, they've gone against the military.
Yeah, so they're using military to do whatever they want to do. So just wondering if they will reveal this to the people to put military in problem, or they just going to keep it like undercover as well, so military keep helping.
It depends how much money they need and how many more boats they need.
Exactly.
Yeah. What did Veridius offer Eidhin? I have a theory that it's that he offered him like his tribe immunity.
Has to be something big, because when he was thinking about whatever he offered, he knew that he would trust himself to not betray this. That's why he decided not to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It must have been something big, and I think it's to do with his tribe. A question about the timings. So there's been 6 years that Searaw's been missing. 6 years since Veridius was in class 3. That's not very long at all. 6 years ago, feels like yesterday for us. I mean, we have nearly 6-year-old. It doesn't feel that long.
Well,
so,
Veridius is 25 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the weird thing is that Vis says something like, he now knows that Veridius built this school around the labyrinth, and the whole point of it was to get people through the labyrinth. But we know that the academy's been there for a lot longer than 6 years, because Searaw was at that location. We know it moved, but Searaw was there because he went through the ruins. So the school was already there before Veridius was the Principalis.
Yeah.
And it just feels like the timings are a bit off. I don't think it's a mistake. That's why it's a question, and it's not something I'm struggling with. It's more like there's something fishy going on. Veridius obviously either asked for that position, or he asked for a position at school, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden made it to the Principalis.
Yeah.
Okay. Amissa. You haven't said anything about Amissa. What is up with Amissa? Why could she smell or sense the tainted blood? What does she know about the labyrinth? She must know it all, because she went she had a bit of a moment of madness, stabbed Vis and pushed him off the tower. That's her boyfriend, from number one. And now she feels really guilty because Veridius says so. So there's going to be some really interesting conversation in the next book.
Well, I was thinking that with the information that Amissa has, maybe she thought that wasn't the real Vis. That maybe was, I don't know if a clone or something that was fake, or he would be infected with this virus.
That makes sense, doesn't it? She wouldn't attack the real one.
No.
So maybe you're right. Maybe it isn't the real one.
I think she knows as much as Veridius. Maybe she is with Veridius and this kind of stuff. She can will as well, because now we know that she has powers. And also, how did she know about Endor? Because he left clear that yes, that is true that he's planning to go to Religious, but he never said that to Amissa.
Yeah.
How she knew. So it's a lot of stuff. And I remember that in one of the episodes when we were talking about her, that she can speak Chimerian as well. I was like, maybe this is something to tell her that she is something really special. There's something else about her, about the stuff that she knows. And yes, I think there's a lot of mystery about her, but I still believe that she is good and she really loves Vis.
Yeah, I believe that too. That's what I want to believe. I'm looking forward to the first conversation that they have anyway.
Yeah.
And the strength of the few. Can I read it? Can I start reading it tonight? I desperately want to read it.
Yeah.
Got another week, haven't we?
We had therapy, and then I don't know if we're going for preparation or something. What we think, blur and color.
Well, we have to record all of those this week. And how did he see his dad? That's my biggest outstanding question. He saw his dad, and we've talked about this. We don't need to talk about it anymore, really, but there's just something fishy going on there. The next question I have is, who is the other from your world? So he wakes up in Obertium. Let me get this right? So he wakes up in Obertium. Searaw's is there. He also wakes up in Lyceum.
Well, There's another thing that I'm not sure if we're having like two different times when he's like waking up, and then first there's some people calling like traveler, and then he just pass away, well, like pass. And then Zero is there when he wakes up again, and everything happens in the same realm, or the travelers in Lucian, for example. And then when Zero is with him, he's saying over
Oh
to
my
you.
gosh, I've read it twice and I still don't think I fully understand it. But I think I think there's another from your realm, because I think Zero is from that realm anyway, from Obitium. And then his original is like dead. But I think the other is somebody else. And I just can't shake the feeling that it's Reliquia.
I think it's Veridius. That he managed, he's a clone, I think. He knows a lot about it.
So I don't know that clone is the right word. I don't know.
He's been copied, is what it says.
Yeah, copy. I guess it is a clone, isn't it? Like, I just feel like you've achieved synchronism, which means you exist in all three planes. You exist in all three dimensions.
Yeah.
And like, I don't necessarily. They say copied, but like, I don't think you're different. I think it's the same person in all realms.
Yeah,
I guess the argument is a clone.
But a copy.
Yeah, it's a very topical conversation at the moment because there's lots of conspiracy theories flying around about clones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. If you cloned yourself, are you both that person? Or is only the original that person?
I guess all depends on what kind of clone system we're talking about.
Are there lots? Are you an expert?
I mean, like, if you're gonna make a clone and you give it yourself and that kind of stuff, then you have to go through all the process that you had like a baby, the baby starts to grow, and it's like physically and everything is you. But what makes you is not just your body and your stuff.
It's your environment.
Yes, all the stuff you experience and that kind of stuff is what shape your personality. So even if it's a clone, it's exactly like you. If it's moving with different family, different environment, it will be different.
If you one day say, let's just a hypothetical situation, you break into a ruin, run a labyrinth, find a portal to another dimension, and then all of a sudden you exist in all three dimensions. Has the person in Obitium, has the Vis in Obitium always existed? I don't think so. I think he's just like sprung into life there, and they're like, oh, a visitor, because that's how it is. It's not like, oh, that's Vis down the road. Got two of him. It's more like is all of a sudden a new visitor, and that person's three. So they've all got, those three all have the same history, because if you think about a timeline, he's like one person, one person, one person, one person. He gets onto a blip on the timeline and all of a sudden he's three. So all those three people are the same because they've had the same history, the same environment, the same experiences.
Yeah, it's kind of like multiverse, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only to a singular point.
Yeah.
On a timeline.
So what I understand is, yes, when he's like about to cross the door or something, and that point is when he is copied. And then the only thing that I don't know if it's the copy he goes through or the original goes there and the copy stays there. But obviously they still have the same memory, the same personality. Yeah. It's the same. So
it's an interesting
like
question.
This cell, they split and it's exactly the same.
But whatever happens to them from that point onwards doesn't happen to the other one. So it's not like, it's weird because some of it does. So he has run written on his arm, and that's how he gets a message to him. So whatever they do to the body of Vis in Obitium, they scratch, wait, and run. That happens. It's like a mirror. But
then that one lost arm.
An arm, but Vis didn't. Vis. The one in Obitium didn't.
Well, we don't know because we are not in that timeline. The last time we saw him when he was getting the message.
It would have had to have been something else, though. Yeah, good point. He might have done. And then, but we suspect that Searoy is dead in Res, but he's not dead in Obitium.
No.
So whatever happened to Searoy Unless he was just in hiding or doing something secret.
It's like the lives are not connected. So that means if one dies, the other one doesn't.
But their
the bodies are.
There's so much that we don't know. It's cool though. I don't know if I feel like it rings a bell. The fact that you can get a message to somebody, to yourself, or I think, isn't it something like Looper? Where there's like it's a time travel thing. It's not a clone thing. It's a time travel thing where you can get a message back to your former self by like hurting yourself in the past, or no, to your future self, obviously, because like you scratch a message and then all of a sudden, or get a tattoo when you're younger and all of a sudden it appears on your future self. There's something, it might be Looper, but this movie is going to be so good. Like this one might be one that I actually stay awake for.
I can't wait to see like how they're going to display everything in the movie, making like clear for the people.
I think it's clearer with visuals because I have aphantasia where I don't see things in my head. So.
I just hope that Christopher Nolan is not going to get this because that
oh my
would
God.
be too much.
No, he absolutely needs to get... This is the perfect movie for Christopher Nolan. Oh my God. I can't imagine a better director.
No, the book is already complicated. If you're going to make it seem complicated and the movie is going to be like...
No, it needs to be. I don't... He would be my number one choice.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan's movies are always like this. I wonder actually if we get the chance to talk to James Islington at some point. I would want to ask him like who his favorite director is. I bet it's Christopher Nolan because it's so Christopher Nolan coded this book because you get to you're really enjoying it. It's so good, and you get to the end and you're like, what? And then when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's the end of my questions. Probably not, but I'll think of some more by next.
Questions.
Yeah. So we only have one this week for Raising the Dead Languages, which is a segment where we look at Latin names for characters, places, things in our hunt for clues. And the only one from this week you added, actually, and it is Vetusian, and it means ancient.
Yes, and it's really interesting because in the part when it's mentioned is when he is on the other side. And then we say that one of the people who is with him is talking like a really rough Vetusian. So it's like the language they're talking.
Yeah, I think
Vetusian means ancient.
Yeah, I think it was mentioned in the original ruins as well, in the language that he didn't understand. And I just want to remind people, based off of our conversation about Veridius being potentially good, Veridius for me would live up to his name of truth if he wasn't particularly bad as well. Okay, my favourite bit. Let's do the will of the maybe. This is the part of the show where we will lock in our predictions for the future books in the hope that we get at least something right by the end of the 4-book series. So now I can start. Now I can start theorizing. Well, I'm going to go. You go first.
Okay, so talking about Veridius, yes, and thinking the same that he is not bad, that we're going to find out a little bit more in the second book. He has more information, he has reason to do everything that he's doing, but in the overall goal, he's trying to help maybe his realm because he doesn't want to another cataclysm that happens. So that is the part that he is trying to prevent. And if you put it against he's sacrificing his students to try to prevent that. So if you put it some students against the whole realm or the whole continent or whatever, so it makes sense that it's going through all of that because sacrificing a few to save all the rest. Also, Emisa, I think that she had good reasons to attack this. I think she knows more about this labyrinth, about these ruins. And when she changed completely when she saw the blood. So I think once we get the explanation, we will find out that she had really good reasons to do that. Mm-hmm. So she is good. She is not bad. Then Diago, the Alupai, I think he is still linked to the labyrinth. So I don't think this will be the last time they will see him. I think when they had to come back to the ruins, either because this Vis has to come back there, or the one who is already there has to maybe, I don't know, go back to
Will they
rest.
meet each other, do you think?
That's the thing that...
It's going to be the Spider-Man thing when they're all pointing at each other.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm not sure if they aren't each realm because they're like a balance. But what happened when the other one traveled to the realm when there's already one there? Like, can be there or no? We don't know.
Maybe neither can live while the other survives. I think there's more to Diago. I'm interested in the perspective that he's linked to the labyrinth, because I thought he was linked to Vis, or he or she was linked. He's just been named Diago because it was a bit of an ego trip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For the actual Diago for Vis. Though I do think that we should, before next week when we like properly lock in all the theories, we should look into a bit more of the like Greek mythology, labyrinth, wolf thing, because I think there's something there.
Okay, next one is I don't think Alkisco will be happy with everything that's going on with Vis. He will think the Vis is betraying him. Then now that he's the winner of the Udician and he's going to governance, he's going to take it as a betrayal. So I think maybe in the next book, it's going to be some beef between Alkisco and Vis.
Yeah, particularly because the Vis that is in Res does not appear to remember that Sea-Raw is alive. Well, if he remembers and he's like, oh yeah, there's a Sea-Raw in Obitium, and he can tell him all the secrets, I think Alkisco will be fine.
Next, this won't be faithfully fantasy if I'm not saying there's somebody that everyone thinks is that it's coming back.
Yeah,
to
apart
life.
from the one that actually did
Apart from the
happen.
But I start to think that this big sister, Isabella, she is alive.
But Federico confirms that he saw all the bodies.
Well, I think he said the parents. I'm not sure about the
Said
sister.
everyone, yeah. Apart from the little one.
And I'm thinking this is because in the prologue, when they are escaping from Zeus, when the hierarchy is attacking, the parents are trying to get the children, and the mother, she get captured when she is looking for Isabella. That's the thing that it made me think that maybe the hierarchy wasn't able to find her.
I like it.
Yep.
Next. Sorry, I'm being like, next. I just want to hear him. I've been waiting so long to talk to you about the next book.
Yeah, so, and the next book, I'm thinking that we're going to have like dual POV or the two of Vis. So we're going to see the Vis there, Stalking
Just
and Rest.
two?
And then,
I think there's 3.
well, we're going to have more POVs. I don't think that maybe it's going to be all focused just what's going on in governance and that kind of stuff. So
I think we've got 3. I think we've got Obitium, Lyceum, and Res.
I can't wait to see like how
I
it's gonna
think
be
it
presented.
should be obvious. Well, I hope. Or maybe
Well,
not.
it wasn't that
Yeah.
obvious in the end of this
Good
book,
point.
wasn't
It
it?
wasn't as obvious, no.
Yeah. And finally, Vis will find out the reason why the hierarchy attacked his island.
Well, they were attacking everybody. Is it not?
No, in the prologue, when he was asking to his father why the hierarchy is doing this, when just a month ago they were offering to like be joining the hierarchy so they can be more, prosper and that kind of stuff. His father said this because they know everything they're doing, or they know the truth about them.
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah. I need
there's
to read that again.
Information.
Yeah, they
that he
yeah.
has.
It's so interesting as well with the prologue that James Islington wanted that to start, but that was an editor's decision to take it out.
That was too much for the beginning.
Yeah. So Eidhin's story, living pattern, about it not being the right thing to do to live past your time. I do think Eidhin is going to sacrifice himself.
No.
No, Eidhin, no, there must be another way. Yeah. Same as yours. I didn't read yours because I didn't want to spoil it, but I thought we will see him across multiple worlds because we've got copies. I'm hung up on the gods. They say God's grave, rotting gods so many times. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to find out what happened to the gods. And I think they're not. I think they're still alive. The other From Your World is coming. You think it's Veridius. I think it's Reliquia. Or the guy that's materializing everywhere.
Yeah, Scarface, gonna call it.
Yeah, Scarface. I'm not sure that we're done with the twists of Reliquia. And I still have a feeling that she's from Lucium because of Reliquia, Relight.
Relucent.
Lucium is light. I just feel like, I don't know, I felt like
maybe a clue from the author there.
Yeah. Vis's dad said he would see Calidus again. So I think we're going to see Calidus again.
Yes, I wasn't sure about it. Like, what does it mean? Vis is going to die.
Yeah, but we've seen his dad again, who is dead.
Yeah.
So something going on. Like, the dead are obviously still around. And then the final one for now is that the Anguis aren't who we thought they were. Like, they know Vis went through the gate because he literally says, I thought they were angels. Mm-hmm. And then I keep thinking about Reliquia, the light, and the gods. And I just feel like Anguis sounds like angels. So I was like, I'm onto something. And then when I did the translation of Anguis, and we had already talked about this, it's serpent or snake. It's not.
Yeah, it feels more like betrayal or contrast.
Yeah, but like Lucifer was an angel. He's also a serpent. I just feel like there's something linked to the gods.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to start reading it. So we're going to have to just...
We will.
Yeah, good. Sticking with the theme of precognition, let's look at what we're going to do next week.
So next week, we're going to have the therapy session. So we're going through all the theory that we have before the strength of the few.
Yeah, finally. Okay, and for one last time for this season, let's go sapping for secrets. This is the part of the show where we pose ourselves a question and sap deep into our will for the answers. Unlike our main man, Vis, we are not immune to the sapper. So there's no dodging, no scheming, you just have to tell the truth. So last week we asked, Federico takes Vis into a room full of his childhood belongings. If you were to do the same, what is one thing you would love to be able to see again from your childhood?
So this is going to be a little bit silly from my part, but when I'm thinking about like things that I loved when I was a child, there was this little toy. There was like a plastic robot. I can't remember when I found that, but it was like one of the best things for me. And I was playing with that little toy every single day. It was like my favorite thing ever. And then I remember I invited to my house a friend of a friend, so we didn't have that many relationships.
Did they steal it?
And he stole it. And after that, I didn't see that guy ever again. And obviously, my little toy got lost as
my heart. That is so sad. Because that happened with one of my hats as well.
Really? A hat?
Yeah, it's not the same. I get it. I did love this hat though. My mum wouldn't buy me a new one because it wasn't like we didn't have like loads of extra money to just go and buy another thing.
And like I said, I found it, so I didn't even know like how it was called, whether you can get it. I didn't know anything about it.
I have to like. I'm sorry, but I just realised I made my mum seem really mean there, not buying me another hat. She bought me another hat, but this hat was expensive. It was like a nice, like it was not nice. It was a leopard print, like furry thing. Just remember it, liking it. I just had to because my mum did buy me a hat. She didn't make me go cold, but somebody stole a really nice one.
Yeah. So what was... your thing that you would like to see?
No, I'm so sad about your tiny robot. I can't even begin to talk about my thing. The only thing I could think of, not the only thing I could think of, but the thing that stands out the most was a jewelry box that was like wind up, and when you opened it, it's like a classic little girl's toy. But you wind it up and the ballerina dances. Yeah. And it's got a little mirror at the back. And I used to just keep jewellery and stuff in there. I just loved it. Just made me feel like I had something really special.
So what happened to the one that you have?
I remember it fell apart. I used to play with it all the time, and I remember the top fell. It got to the point where you would like open it and then it would flop back. It was supposed to stand up, the lid, and then the ballerina stopped. It was Swan Lake. It sang the song, like had a music box of do 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 do. I think it's Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. And it just started getting like really slow and sad.
Creepy.
Yeah. It would have ended up in the bin at some point, but it's really sad. It's not even that important. It's just stuff, but it's just one thing that reminds me of like being a kid.
Yeah, same for me.
Oh, you made me feel so sad about your robot. I hate that person. I think we should have a campaign to find him.
Good luck with that. It was in Colombia when it happened. So I honestly, after that, never seen the little boy ever again.
Did you
So I tried
feel really sad?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
It was my favorite thing in the world that time. And like I said, I didn't have like that many toys neither. And then finding this robot that for me was so cool, and it was just like the perfect size, and it was just like perfect for me to play with it all the time.
Can you draw it for me so I can find you a replacement?
Yeah.
Thanks. Right. On that really sad note, that is all we've got time for this week. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Faithfully Fantasy Pod. Come and join the conversation. We'd love to hear if you are reading along with us for the next one, for The Strength of the Few. And if you haven't started yet, what are your theories?
And with this, we had just one more thing to say. Thank you for listening to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things the will of the many.
We'll see you next week for our therapy session, and of course, for more Faithfully Fantasy.
Bye.
Cool.
That's a really long one.
That's what she said.
Oh, I'm so sad about your robot.